Eric, Sam, and Adrian Rogers. Coach, we start off with a statement and we'll do questions.
Well, once again, I thought we came out of Focus Ball Club tonight. We've been working very hard to prepare ourselves for this tournament. And I thought tonight that we came in and we paid attention to detail. And we done something that we haven't been doing well all this season, and especially the second half of this season, is rebound the basketball. And I thought our inside presence was huge and ultimately gave us a lot of energy down the line to finish the game out as well. And I thought that once again, Rogers and Hyder and Banks on the perimeter did a good job of dictating tempo all night long.
Questions?
Coach had a good practice. Did they feed off this team? Feed off that good practice? Could you feel they were going to have a good game?
I thought we had a couple of good practices, and it's been I call not so present practices because we all needed a gut check, and we know that Alabama State is a good team, and we know that they're a well-coached team by Coach Jackson, and we know that they have one of the most exciting offensive players in the league that can take over a game at any point. So we knew going down the stretch that we at least wanted to have a 2 or 3 possession game going into the last media timeout. And fortunately, we did have that. And I thought that because of this week's practice and the time that we had, that we was able to come out a little focused because we all challenged each other at some point this week.
Coach, you've been talking about getting an inside presence offensively. You didn't get a lot of baskets early, but you got Jared and DeAdrian, and they got fouled early. Do you think that kind of loosened up the defense the way you were hoping?
Well, I've been saying and I've been preaching that sometimes we don't play to our size, and we allow people to somewhat make us seem smaller than what we are. And so we want to use our 6'8", 6'7" frames and big bodies. And not only that, we think that in our 3 men, we got some athletic guys that can go in there and stick their nose in pretty well. Chris Thomas, Adrian, and Sean Prudham should be sticking their nose in there a little bit more on the rebound end, especially on the defensive end. And so that's been a lot of what we've been watching on film and a lot of what we've been working on in practice.
Coach, in the first half, you shut Waters down pretty much, and he got a few points, but you frustrated him in the first half. Was that a key to this game?
Well, he's always a key. He's been a key for them ever since he got there. So, we don't have to see any more of him, but like he's been around a long time. But definitely to contain him, you're not going to stop him because after the game, you look up and he still had 20 points. And he draw a lot of attention and probably had 3 or 4 assists. I don't know that number for sure, but he can affect the game a lot of different ways. And we wanted to make sure that wherever he was, that we had 1 or 2 people locking and chasing on him.
Any questions for the players?
Rogers, you felt it tonight. You were hitting all over the field, especially 3-pointers.
Yeah. When I got a look, I knocked it down. That's what the team needs me to do, so I just do that.
A couple times this season, you guys, have been up, but you kind of let those big leads kind of slip away and end up on the wrong end of the winning column. How tough was it to kind of keep the foot on the pedal for this game?
It wasn't tough at all. You just came at halftime and you just said, "Hey guys, score 0-0. Let's not choke on this one, or we go home and we ain't got no other game." So that was really the motivation.
We knew that this team wasn't going to quit, and so going in at halftime, that basketball is a game of runs, and we definitely, hopefully, have learned from some of our experiences this season. So we wanted the team to understand that the score is 0-0, and that we have to go out there and try to win the first 5 minutes of the game to get ourselves established for the second half. We didn't want to give them a lot of energy to start the second half, and then all of a sudden, in the first 5 minutes, it's a 10-point ball game.
Coach, were you surprised by a 26-point lead and then a 20-point win? Because Alabama State and Southern are always pretty close together. Thought it would go down to the wire.
Yeah, I didn't realize till one of the assistant coaches came up to me and I looked at the clock because I just know that I'm always knowing that this has been a good contest between the two teams. But we were locked in today, and I thought that fortunately that we was able to contest some shots that they usually make. But they do a good job getting in transition, and we did a good job of stopping the ball at half court, stopping and stunning on the basketball, and then we was able to find shooters. And I think the kids that because our bigs did a good job also of helping and hedging all night, and that was a key thing for us.
Sam, on one of the shots, I think it was none that jumped too early. You were right behind him and tipped the ball right in. You felt strong all night long down to the paint.
Yeah, so just being in the right place at the right time, basically.
And that slam dunk must have felt good.
Yes, sir.
Coach, looking forward to tomorrow. What will be the keys to stopping Texas?
You know, I told these guys they have a right to enjoy this from 12 o'clock, but I told my coaches, let's get ready to go to work. They up all night, and we'll figure that out. You know, Mike Davis got this team playing very well. One thing that's going to have to happen for us again is that we're going to have to be physical, and we're going to have some dominancy on the inside to rebound that basketball and competing against those athletes of his. And so, you know, if we compete there, and they're not limiting us to one shot and they're not getting double opportunities on the offensive end, then we'll have a chance.
Any more questions? Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you guys.